What if I told you that disappearing is one of the most powerful moves you can make in a woman's mind? It sounds unreal until you understand how silence rewires desire. Because the moment you stop chasing, stop explaining, and simply vanish, her mind begins the war you no longer fight. She replays your calm. She questions her worth. She starts craving the presence that once felt ordinary. Human nature is cruelly simple. We want what withdraws. We forget what begs. And when you become the mystery, she becomes the seeker. Most men talk, text, and chase to feel seen. But the wise man, he steps back and lets absence speak louder than any word. That's when she starts chasing ghosts of your silence, wondering what changed and when she lost control. In this video, we'll uncover what happens day by day inside her mind when you disappear. How scarcity, uncertainty, and time turn your silence into obsession. You'll see why presence creates comfort, but absence creates value. If you're ready to understand the psychology of detachment, hit like and subscribe to Stoic Silence and start this journey now. Drop a 1 if you've ever gone silent and watched everything shift. Drop a 2 if you're ready to reclaim your power. Now let's uncover what truly happens when you vanish. Day 1 to 3. The illusion of control. It always begins quietly. On the first day you disappear, she feels nothing unusual. There's no panic, no regret, no rush of realization. In her mind, she still holds the upper hand. You're simply another man who got quiet. She assumes you'll come back the way others always do, because that's what men do, right? They fold when silence grows heavy. But here's what she doesn't see yet. The moment you stop chasing, something subtle begins. The energy shifts. She's not conscious of it, but a question has already formed in the back of her mind. Why did you stop? At first, she dismisses it. You must be busy. You must be distracted. It's fine. Yet that tiny thought doesn't disappear. It lingers, waiting for a reason. You see, women are conditioned to believe they control the rhythm of connection. They think they decide when it starts, when it deepens, and when it ends. That illusion gives them comfort until silence arrives. Because silence isn't absence, it's a mirror. And the longer she looks into it, the more she sees the truth of her own dependence on your attention. While she's scrolling through her phone, liking photos, chatting with friends, her mind is quietly observing something it can't explain. The lack of your presence. That used to be constant. A text, a check-in, a message that said you still cared. Now, there's nothing. And though she won't admit it, that emptiness feels strange, like a room once full of noise that's suddenly still. This is where most men fail. They expect her to notice immediately, to feel the sting of loss overnight. But silence doesn't work that way. It's not a spark, it's a slow burn. It seeps into the corners of her awareness until it becomes impossible to ignore. And every hour you stay quiet, every moment you resist the urge to reach out, you build something stronger than words. Contrast. The truth is, people don't value what they can predict. They crave what confuses them. When your behavior changes from predictable to mysterious, her mind begins to chase meaning. She wonders if you lost interest. She wonders if you found peace without her. She wonders if maybe, just maybe, she misjudged you. And that's where curiosity is born. Not from noise, but from silence. As the days pass, she's still calm on the surface. She posts, she smiles, she acts unbothered. But something invisible has started to shift beneath her composure. She checks her messages more often than usual. She replays the last conversation, trying to remember if she said something wrong. That's how it begins, the quiet unraveling of her certainty. And that's the part men never see. They think nothing is happening because nothing is visible. But this is the foundation of change. You've removed her sense of control, and when control disappears, attraction takes a new form. It transforms into curiosity, then into reflection. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. When you disappear, you reclaim that power. You stop trying to manage her emotions and start mastering your own." That's the difference between silence born of weakness and silence born of strength. The first seeks attention. The second creates gravity. So while she still believes she's in control, the balance has already shifted. Your silence has entered the space her ego once occupied. She doesn't know it yet, but something inside her has started to question the story she told herself about you. She'll pretend it's nothing, but you'll know. Because the moment you stop speaking, the real conversation begins. And by the end of day 3, your absence isn't just noticed, it's felt. What started as peace for her has become uncertainty. What started as withdrawal for you has become power. She still thinks she holds the cards, but the game has already changed. And that's when the first spark of curiosity ignites. She doesn't realize it, but she's already thinking about you, wondering what caused the silence, wondering why it feels different this time. The illusion of control is fading, and she's about to step into the storm of her own thoughts. She doesn't know it yet, but your silence just entered her mind. Day 4 to 7. The discomfort of stillness. By the 4th day, silence no longer feels invisible, it begins to echo. She starts to notice the absence she once dismissed. Her phone feels heavier in her hand. She opens your old messages, not because she misses you, but because she's searching for something familiar, something to explain the shift she doesn't understand. The comfort that once wrapped her confidence is quietly unraveling, thread by thread. At first, she tries to stay calm. She laughs with friends, posts photos, acts as if nothing has changed. But every small silence between her distractions pulls her back to the same thought. Why hasn't he said anything? It's not longing yet, it's confusion. She's used to men orbiting her world, checking in, keeping her validated. Your stillness breaks that rhythm, and in that broken rhythm, her ego starts to tremble. Then come the moments that sting a little more. She runs into mutual friends who casually mention your name, and she forces a smile, pretending she doesn't care, pretending she's moved on. But underneath, there's tension. She listens more closely than she should. She asks questions without realizing it. Her mind is no longer resting, it's racing. And this is where discomfort takes root. Not because you've said anything, but because you haven't. Human beings can tolerate almost anything except uncertainty. For men, silence is peace. For women, silence is noise. She hates not knowing what's happening, hates not being able to predict what you'll do next. Every day you remain quiet, she loses a little more of the certainty that made her feel safe. By now, she's checked your profile more than once, maybe replayed your last voice message, maybe even typed something she never sent. But she can't reach out, not yet. Pride is still her shield, and her ego whispers, "He'll come back." They always do. Yet deep down, she senses something different this time. This silence doesn't feel like a tactic. It feels like distance, and that scares her more than she's willing to admit. The Stoics believed that unpredictability awakens the soul. The soul stirs when it can't predict. That's what's happening to her now. Your silence is no longer just quiet, it's movement. It's shaking her internal world. It's forcing her to look at herself without the reassurance of your attention. In that stillness, she's meeting her own reflection, and it's uncomfortable. She won't show it. She'll keep her composure in public, act amused in conversation, maybe even flirt a little just to prove she's fine. But at night, when things slow down and her phone stays blank, the unease returns. She's not wondering what you're doing. She's wondering why she's wondering at all. This is the power of stillness. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It doesn't demand attention, it earns it. Your absence has become the mirror of her emotions, quiet, calm, yet impossible to ignore. She won't reach out, not yet. But make no mistake, she's thinking about it more than she'll ever admit. And soon, the silence she once overlooked will start to speak louder than any word you could have said. Day 8 to 14. Fear and self-doubt. By the second week, something shifts inside her, a quiet panic she can't fully name. At first, she tries to rationalize your silence. Maybe you're busy, maybe you're giving space, maybe this is just another phase. But deep down, a new thought begins to whisper, what if he's really gone? That's the moment fear enters, not as a scream, but as a slow, steady hum beneath her confidence. She starts replaying everything in her mind, every word, every moment, every silence. Did she push you too far? Was she too cold, too distant, too sure that you'd always stay? She scrolls through your old conversations, not because she misses you, but because she's trying to find the turning point, the exact moment when the balance shifted. But she can't find it. That's what drives her crazy. You didn't explode, you didn't argue, you didn't plead. You simply stopped showing up. In her confusion, she might even try to distract herself. She goes out more, laughs louder, maybe entertains someone new. But no matter how charming he is, she finds herself comparing him to you. The tone of his voice, the way he texts, even the way he looks at her, it all feels off. Because what she's searching for isn't a new man. It's the calm she used to feel when you were around. And for the first time, she realizes she can't recreate that with anyone else. Her ego begins to crack under the weight of uncertainty. She thought she understood her power, that she could pull away and still have you waiting. But the more days pass without your name lighting up her screen, the more that illusion fades. She starts to question not just your feelings, but her own worth. It's a quiet unraveling, the kind that doesn't show on the outside, but consumes her inside. This is where the Stoic truth begins to reveal itself. Detachment is the great revealer. You see who values you when you stop giving, when you stopped reaching out, you stopped feeding her ego, and that's when she began to see how much she depended on it. She's not angry at you, she's unsettled by herself. Your silence has turned into a mirror, and what she sees in it is her own reflection, fragile, uncertain, human. She may scroll through your social media, searching for clues. Did you move on? Are you happy? Is there someone else? Every picture, every update becomes fuel for her imagination, but she still won't reach out. Pride is a stubborn guardian, whispering, "Don't give him the satisfaction." So she stays quiet, but not at peace. She's caught between the fear of losing you and the fear of looking weak. By the end of the second week, the questions outnumber her answers. The confidence that once made her untouchable is starting to crumble. She's losing control, but pride keeps her quiet. And while she's fighting her own reflection, your silence grows louder, reshaping how she sees you and how she sees herself. Day 15 to 20. The urge to reconnect. By the third week, silence stops being a mystery. It becomes a weight she can't escape. What once felt like control now feels like confinement. She can't stand the stillness anymore. It follows her into every quiet moment, when she's driving, scrolling, or lying in bed pretending she's fine. The absence has grown too loud to ignore. She starts to crave relief, not love. She just wants the tension to end, to know she still holds a place in your mind. That's when the subtle signs begin. She starts posting things that aren't random, quotes about letting go, a photo that looks effortlessly beautiful, a song lyric that says what she can't. These aren't accidents. Each post is a test, each word a soft knock on the door of your attention. She checks your story views, your activity, your likes, even your silence. Every digital trace becomes evidence for or against her unspoken question, do I still matter? Then something small happens. Someone mentions your name. Maybe a mutual friend saw you somewhere, or maybe your name comes up in casual conversation. But the moment she hears it, her heart skips. She hides it well, nods, smiles, keeps her voice steady, but for a second, her guard drops. She's curious, uneasy, and strangely emotional. The name she pretended not to care about still holds power. That's when she realizes this silence isn't just a game, it's reshaping her perception of you. Most men destroy the magic at this exact point. They misread the signs and rush to break the silence. A simple message, "Hey, just checking in," and all the tension evaporates. The woman feels validated again, her ego restored. You go back to square one. Because the truth is, she isn't missing you yet. She's missing control. And the moment you give her that validation, she gets what she wanted. Reassurance that she still owns your attention. Patience here is everything. The Stoics taught that patience is mastery. Silence isn't about withholding affection, it's about mastering your impulses. Most men react out of fear. Fear of losing her, fear of being forgotten, fear of the unknown. But a man grounded in patience doesn't chase reassurance, he becomes it. He knows that stillness is not weakness, it's strength under pressure. Meanwhile, her thoughts are restless. She replays what you might be doing, who you might be with, whether you've stopped caring. She tells herself she doesn't care either, but she does. She starts imagining you with someone else, and for the first time, the idea stings. Every day you stay quiet, the silence gains value. Every moment you resist, her curiosity grows. She's starting to see what she once took for granted as something she could lose forever. By now, she's checking her phone not out of habit, but out of hope. She won't reach out yet. Her pride still holds her back, but her calm has cracked. She's torn between her need for certainty and her fear of rejection. The man who used to chase her has become a question mark, and that question is louder than your voice could ever be. Your silence isn't punishing her, it's teaching her. It's reminding her that peace can't be bought with attention, and control isn't the same as connection. She doesn't miss you yet. She misses the version of herself that felt powerful when you were always available. She's not missing you, she's missing control. And that realization is only the beginning of her unraveling. Day 21 to 30. The shift of power. By the third week, the silence has changed its nature. What once felt like absence now feels like presence. Calm, solid, unshakable. She no longer sees you as the man who disappeared. She sees you as the man who stopped needing to prove anything. The silence that once irritated her has become the echo she can't escape. It follows her through her mornings, her drives, her nights. She checks her phone not out of curiosity anymore, but from something deeper, a quiet longing mixed with fear. It's here that her perception of you transforms. You're no longer predictable, no longer part of her routine. You've become scarce, and scarcity creates value. The mystery surrounding you makes her mind wander. She doesn't know what you're thinking, who you're seeing, or if you've already moved on. And that uncertainty is powerful, because for the first time, she's the one trying to understand you. She's the one chasing the silence you've learned to live within. Her pride still fights it, but her instincts are stronger now. The little things start to change. She might reach out with a harmless text. "Hey, just thought of you," or something vague that sounds casual but carries a hidden weight. The tone is different this time, softer, slower, careful. She's not demanding, not distant, not cold. There's vulnerability in her words, a quiet admission that something has shifted. And if you look closely, you'll notice what's missing. The confidence she once had when she thought you'd always be there. You don't need to respond right away. You've already done what most men never manage to do. You've reclaimed your peace. The Stoics believed true power is born the moment you stop trying to prove your worth. As Epictetus wrote, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. When you stopped seeking her validation, you became untouchable. You no longer move from emotion or need. You move from clarity. Your silence has become your statement. It told her everything words never could, that you no longer exist to feed her ego, that your peace matters more than her approval. You've become grounded, steady, and unbothered. And paradoxically, that's what draws her in. The man she once thought she understood has evolved into someone she can't predict, and that unpredictability now holds her attention in ways her pride can't explain. Over the days that follow, she may try harder. A message here, a memory there. Maybe she reminds you of an inside joke, or asks a question she already knows the answer to. Anything to bridge the gap. When that doesn't work, she grows more direct. You can hear the subtle shift in her tone. Less confidence, more sincerity. For the first time, she's not chasing comfort, she's chasing closure, and perhaps something even deeper, respect. This is the turning point. The silence has done its work. It stripped away illusion, forced both of you to see clearly. For her, it exposed how much she depended on your attention. For you, it revealed how strong you are without it. You both learned that connection without peace is chaos, and sometimes the only way to restore balance is through absence. So when she finally reaches out, not from ego but from humility, you'll know the silence has served its purpose. You don't need to punish or ignore her. You simply respond from strength, not from need. Because now you understand something that most never learn. Disappearing was never about her. It was about remembering who you are. That's the real shift of power. Not dominance, not control, but self-mastery. You didn't win because she started chasing. You won because you stopped running. And in that stillness, in that calm certainty that no one can take from you, you found the rarest victory of all, peace. She feels it too, even if she can't put it into words. Your silence didn't break her. It reminded her of what she lost, the version of you she once took for granted. And as she looks back, wondering how she let you slip away, you stand quietly in your truth, grounded, whole, and untouchable. The silence that once separated you has now defined you, and it's in that stillness that you finally understand. You were never losing her. You were finding yourself. Men, understand this. Silence isn't weakness, it's control. When you stop chasing, you stop giving her power over your peace. At first she feels nothing because she believes she still has you. But as the days pass, your stillness starts to echo. Curiosity replaces confidence, and her ego begins to crack. Most men fail here. They break the silence too soon, desperate for a sign. But a grounded man knows that silence is not punishment, it's mastery. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. The moment you stop reacting, you reclaim that power. Your silence becomes a mirror. It shows her what happens when your energy is gone, and it shows you who you truly are without needing validation. By the end, she no longer sees you as the man who disappeared. She sees you as the man she underestimated. So, what's the lesson? Stop proving your worth. Stop chasing closure. The man who can stay still in the storm becomes untouchable. Disappearing was never about her. It was about remembering who you are, calm, disciplined, and free. If this message spoke to you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Stoic Silence. This space was built for men who are done chasing noise and ready to rebuild themselves in peace, discipline, and clarity. Drop your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. I read everyone. Your story might be the spark that helps another man find his strength. Stay patient, stay grounded, and remember, your silence has meaning. This isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of a new chapter in your evolution.